Hey guys, I thought I'd do a bit of a fall garden tour of what I've got going on so far. So these here are my, so these here are my broccoli. And then I started squash, yellow squash, and zucchini a couple weeks ago. And in hopes that my greenhouse is gonna be delivered before the cold weather sits in. But when I checked on my greenhouse, it doesn't look like it's gonna be here for another 8 weeks. So I'm gonna have to clean out the shed and move these guys in and out of the shed every evening when it gets cooler at night. So, okay, so I got the zucchini. The broccoli can be grown most of all winter. So that's gonna be good. Here I have, these are kale. The reason why they look so sickly is because when I planted them, I had them in the seed pots and the chickens found them and pecked them. I was able to salvage a couple of them. Same with the bok choy back here and the Swiss chard up front here. I got a space, where is it, if I can find my finger, from here all the way here that is empty, and I'm leaving this space right in here because I have more Swiss chard that I had started from seed again, so hopefully the chickens won't find that one. All right, moving on. Over here is the peas that I started in pea pots. As you can see, I just put the pea pots directly in the ground. I broke off the bottom of the pea pot and then just placed the pea pot in the ground and then surrounded the soil and then surrounded the plant with the soil. So they're going to be doing good. I'm going to be trellising them with these poles right here, if I can find my finger. So what I'll do is I'll run a string line all the way across over here, connect it to that one, and then bring it across. And as the peas grow, I'll bring up the string line. My green peppers that are left over, I have a couple ripening ones, but I'm leaving those in the ground still because I'm gonna plant today. I'm gonna start more peas in pots. I like starting the peas in the pots. It just seems like so much more healthier than starting them in ground. So I am so happy on how well my starts had developed. So this is very exciting. Anyways, I'm gonna leave these guys in until my next set of peas get to be the same size as these guys here, and then I'll take these guys out. Depending on how much they're still producing is whether or not I will try to put them in a pot. Now, in between the peas here, and here, I planted some carrots. Cross your fingers that something won't eat my carrots, because it did this spring. I was so upset. I got like next to no carrots. All right, moving on. Right here are my onions. This bed is red and this bed is white, and it looks like my white onions are doing my reds, but there's still time. So we'll wait and see. All right, moving on is my cabbage. Now, I did not plant these from seed. I did buy those at my work because I work at a farm supply store. So I went ahead and bought these where I work. And because I work there, I get, a really great discount. So it's kind of worth sometimes me buying the starts. My asparagus. Yes, it's beautiful. Why is it ferning? Because I'm letting them grow for 2 to 3 years before I'm going to start to harvest asparagus. I want all the energy to go down to the roots and get the roots plenty healthy and deep. So years to come, I will have beautiful asparagus. And as you can see, I have one, where is it at? Right here. That is almost as thick as my finger. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm still getting sprouts even this fall. They've sprouted all season, so I'm pretty happy about that. My strawberry bed is but I do have a couple strawberries even in the fall, but it's not doing as well as it did last year, but we'll see how it does over the winter, and then cross your fingers it comes back prolifically in the spring and all will be well. My volunteer tomato. All right, so I started hybrid tomatoes, I don't know, like maybe 4 weeks ago, I think, from seed. And these have, let's see, they're bush steak hybrids. And so they're not heirloom, so they're only gonna get but so tall. And the reason why I choose these in the fall is because, for one, when my greenhouse gets here, they'll be going in the greenhouse, so I can't have a 6-foot plant. Number two, they have a quick maturity date. So therefore, if my greenhouse wasn't going to be here, which it doesn't look like it will, then I'll be able to get some tomatoes off of it relatively quickly. So these are more of a slicing tomato. Over here, I have the cherry tomatoes. And let me see, I already have a tomato forming on one of them. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here they are. Let's see. See? Right here and right here. Yeah, so after 4 weeks, I'm having cherries on there. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy about that. Now this one I bought at Home Depot because I wasn't seeing any hybrid seeds. And then a couple weeks after I bought this at Home Depot, I ran across hybrid seeds. So I guess it worked out. But as you see, I am getting tomatoes on the sky. So that's pretty happy. This is a green pepper that I just transplanted in this pot this morning so I could put my peas in. Let's see, this is my tomato bed that I will be pulling all these flowers out here when my cauliflower is ready to go in the ground. I'm not going to pull it out yet because I want these flowers to attract the bees so the bees can pollinate my tomato plants and continue to pollinate my green peppers. So therefore I don't want to get rid of my flowers quite yet because I don't need the bed yet. So and here are the starts. I just moved these and put these on this bed. The reason why they're in the back is because they're still starts. So I'm trying to harden them off a little bit and to protect them from the chicken that I'm letting free range in my yard right now. So that's that. As you can see, I have cauliflower, collards, and Swiss chard. All right, moving on. My beautiful out of control rosemary. If you live close and would you like some rosemary, come on and clip some. My chives, ooh, the sun. Let's see. My chives, the 2 in the black pots are from last year. So they survived all winter. Chives are a perennial if you live in a moderate climate. I mean, if it gets below 0 like all winter long, they're probably not going to live. But in moderate climates like South Carolina, they'll survive the winter. And let's see, this bed is where my collards is going to go. So I had cut off the little, you see in the middle of the bed, there's some sticks or stumps. Those are from sunflowers. So I'm just letting the roots die off and they'll just be easier to pull up whenever I'm ready to pull them up. And this is some sort of perennial flower. I have no idea what I planted there. So next year when it flowers, we'll see. More asparagus. So pretty excited about that. Next year I'm gonna have lots of asparagus. It's so exciting. All right, this is the little bitty pool that I had planted. What did I plant in here? Cantaloupe. So I had cantaloupe in here. So I got my garlic bulbs and I'll be amending the soil either today or tomorrow, and I will be planting garlic in this pool. And I have a pool in the back as well. Let's see if you can see it. That pink swimming pool in the very back there. That's going to be garlic as well after my one watermelon finishes ripening, which let's go see it. My grapes got rust. I'm not too happy about that, but they're not dead, so I will take it. And this grape here is absolutely getting to be nice, but it's going to be dropping its leaves here because of the fall. So, but this grew up relatively nicely, so pretty happy about that. Oh, and this celery here is from last year as well. Imagine that. Celery lasted the whole entire year and it's still producing. Okay, so this flower, little story, this flower was in the bed where I just planted the peas, and it branched off down here and it rooted itself. So I cut the branch, as you see where I cut the branch right here. These are its roots. So I figure, oh, that was the dog. So I figure I'll go ahead and water the roots every day. Maybe it will root itself into the mulch and I'll still have flowers for the bees. So, oh, look. If you watched my harvesting sweet potatoes, these were left over from a couple of the sweet potatoes that survived the harvest, and I just kind of like left some little bitty pieces of sweet potatoes slip in there, and it started growing again. So because I'm not using these pots right now, I'm letting it do its thing and see what I get, because that's just how I roll. My chickens, the mean rooster that if he jumps at me again, I already got his killing cone. I'm gonna have chicken noodle soup. All right, so back to, look, I still have watermelon growing. That watermelon done grew up on the fence there. And this is my lone watermelon. I'm waiting for it to finish developing. So I stopped watering it, so hopefully it'll be nice and sweet. But it's supposed to rain this week, so go figure. My blackberry. I can hardly see because the sun is hitting my screen. And what are these? Raspberries. So we'll see how these go. I keep forgetting about these guys. I'm surprised they survived the summer. They're over here all by themselves. So we'll see. We'll see how they survive the winter. I need to focus more on putting more things over on this side of the garden, which I will probably do next year. Maybe add a couple beds over on this side, so I'm more likely to come over here, water over here more than just forget about them. My peach tree, doing extremely nice. Today I put in a pre-order for 2 dwarf multi-pear trees. So it has like it grows 4 different pears on it. So I pre-ordered that, and I should be getting that sometime in January. So that's pretty exciting. So anyways, guys, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel, The Oily Prepper. I'm gonna try and be posting more videos as we go along on different things. If you haven't already started your garden, I highly, highly, highly recommend you start your garden now. If you live in a climate that it gets cold over winter, the fall is an excellent time to start building raised beds and filling in your raised beds with compost and and your fall leaves and all different kinds of organic material. That way in the spring they're going to be ready to be planted in, and that way you're not having to rush in the spring. You do it over the fall and the winter time, and then just, if one bed is all you can put in your backyard, start with one. But I'm telling you guys, the way things are now, I don't see it getting any better. So if you want to feed your family, I highly recommend you start your own garden. You can grow things indoors. You can grow lettuce through the wintertime if you live in a moderate climate. I know that some people put lettuce in cold frames, or they make a cold frame and they grow it. And I mean, it is like snow around it and the lettuce is still growing. If you want to do it extremely on the cheap, what you can do is get a clear plastic tote, cut open a raised garden bed bag of soil, plant your lettuce in there and put the tote over that bag, and it creates a mini greenhouse. Easy peasy, guys, but I'm telling you, you need to start your garden. You need to be stocking up. So anyways, I hope you guys have a really good week, and until next time, stay oily and keep prepping.